What up, lifers? We are back doing time. The Lifers Cast. We're back. I'm your host, Dick Rubin. I have my new co-host.
You're already messing it up.
That's a tough one. My
new
co-host, Uncle Evan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. Thanks you, all the lifers, the support, the community, the way it's built. I appreciate every single bit of energy in this group. If you're listening, you're watching, you're part of the group, thank you.
Thank you guys. Yeah, definitely. We appreciate all of you. We took a little hiatus, took a month off, regroup, do our thing. Unc went on vacation. Y'all seen his vacation pics.
Sometimes we need to take a step back and recalibrate a few things, make sure the car's running right.
That's right.
No problems with that.
Everybody needs an oil change. You gotta get that oil change.
That's a fact.
But without further ado, with our first episode back,
Who do we have today?
We have some of Brooklyn's finest. We have MurdaMegz and Honey Dinero.
Good.
They're about to drop a new album together. Yes. MurdaMegz has worked with Bad Seed, Honey Dinero. Everybody in the group know who they are.
Right. I was gonna say I know Megz is dope.
Yeah, she's been.
So to know that both of them are putting together a project, that's pretty exciting.
Definitely. So without further ado, let's bring them on so we can let them tell it.
Please. Let's get them in. MurdaMegz, Honey Dinero, how are you two today?
Great.
Hey, what's happening?
Great is a wonderful answer. Thank you guys for spending time with us. Seriously.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for being the small percentage in our group of females, because it's always had that, we have to try to find that diversity within our own groups, and you guys are killing it, and I really appreciate y'all, for real.
I'm really interested to have this conversation today, seriously, so I appreciate your time, and I said it earlier during the intro, thank every member, and you guys are a part of it, so genuinely, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for
no doubt.
So let's start off. Who wants to go first and tell us a little bit about themselves?
I guess I'll go. Honey Dinero. I know y'all said from the Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm originally from the Bronx. I'm kind of a two-borough person.
But you got to clarify, you started in the Bronx.
Yeah,
I started in the Bronx.
I feel you.
Yeah. And I've been living in Brooklyn for a certain amount of years. They actually did a thing on Facebook, like Brooklyn was trying to take me from the Bronx. The Bronx was like, no, she's from the Bronx, and it's a big thing. But I rep all of New York, thoroughly, but originally from the Bronx.
That's what's up.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Megz.
No. Good start off with that. Megz, what about you? Let us know a little bit about yourself, please.
Of course, me. My origin, of course, Harlem, Uptown, West Side of Harlem. Of course, when I was my family and I moved to a place called Newcastle, Pennsylvania. What is that? It's an hour away from Pittsburgh. So the home of Wiz Khalifa, and of course the home of the late great Mac Miller. Rest in peace to him.
Yep.
Of course. So we've just been, resting our heads here since 2002, like 6 months after, of course, the 9/11 incident, stuff like that. And of course, I mean, I've grown up mostly like on my hip hop side. It's just something that just stuck with me. And of course, I brought it here to a small town where, most of these people don't know anything about, boom bap and all the other stuff like that. So it's just embedded in me. And of course, I took it along thanks to my dad,
Right. No matter what, no matter where you go, it ends up being a part of you if that is.
Right.
No matter what, if you're creative, you'll find a way to do something to generate your energy, even if it's not writing or producing. You find some fly way to get that energy out.
Right.
Now, you two are collaborating on an album. We've seen some of the promo materials on the internet. How'd that come about?
Well, I mean, we're all part of we're both part of 6 Man Entertainment. Shout out to Bad Seed.
Shout out Bad Seed.
It's a few of us. Megz and I collaborated on a record called Titan, and so I was like, let's work. I mean, she's dope.
Mm.
That's a fact.
I think in all my years, I, you know, outside of Missy Elliott, who has produced and, you know what I'm saying, written records, Megz is like, she's phenomenal, and she's phenomenal. She reminds me of me. If I was a producer, or if she was an MC, she's my
She's
yin,
your
my
caliber.
yang.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So and I was like, yo, we need a project,
Mm.
you
Honey,
know.
I gotta stop you right there. That's
Mhm.
insane. Megz, did you hear that? She put you in a sentence with Missy Elliott.
Word.
That's
Yeah,
real
yeah. That
high
actually, I look
praise.
up to her. I look up. Like I said, I listen to all type, Missy Elliott and all that other stuff like that. So yeah, I'm on. I definitely appreciate that right there.
It's a
Yes.
hell
I
of a
mean,
compliment right there.
she's a beast. You know, just with the record she's done with Bad Seed, and I gravitated towards Megs because she gives her male counterparts a fight. You
Mm.
know, she is a problem for them. And how I am with my music and my lyrics, it just made sense. We got to do a project. And to take it further, we are now a group. So it's HDXMM. Um, and so it leaves the door open for much more. We don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring, but as long as we're stuck together now, you know what I mean.
Right.
So
Right.
we're gonna
How do you feel
we're
the
going.
energy is connecting with you guys in the songwriting process? Like, I mean, as far as the music you're making, the end result, is it like, as far as what your both of your catalogs are extensive. So where does this line up working with each other?
I'm gonna tell you how it happened. Meg sent me, if she said, sis, I got a folder for you. She sent me 8 joints. HDXMM is 8 joints. I took all 8 joints.
Yeah,
I wrote to that album, and I wrote and recorded to that album in 3 days.
that's crazy.
That's
You know,
dope.
that's a lot of inspiration and energy you
Yeah.
drawn from a Megs right away. You're
Sometimes
Yeah.
talking to a soul right away as soon as she hears that.
yeah, sometimes it's a difficult thing, but every beat that she gave me was like perfect, and it was so in pocket with where I wanted to go. Because a lot of people think, "Oh, you so hardcore," but this album is boom bap. It's hip hop. I get my hardcore off, but I also get my lyricism off. I also get, I get some sensitive records off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get to show the full scope of who Honey Dinero is on this album.
Nice.
And it's due to Megs. Like, she just, every record just spoke to me. I got it done in 3 days. I ain't
That's
lose sleep
incredible.
over it. I wasn't stressed. I got it done in 3 days with ease.
Now you said Megs holds her own against her male counterparts. You do too, honestly. And
Thank you.
my question for both of you actually is: have you found it easier to put yourself out there musically with the internet and the way like streaming and all, and how you can just touch people instantly rather than like the
Mhm.
older way, and most female MCs would get buried and they'd be buried by hundreds of their male counterparts. But now you have more of a shine, you have more light on you. So has it been easier?
Megs, you want to answer that?
Yeah. To be honest with you, yeah, it is actually, because if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't know how to get. I would have to, everything would have been old school. You would have to get out of the house. You
Right.
would have to go to the offices and talk with the executives and go to events. You had to actually go to these things and introduce yourself. But now that we got social media and the internet era and streaming, and it's dope that you can actually put your own music on corporate streaming platforms, whether you get paid or not. It does, it does, impact. It does get it out there to the world, so that way the world can hear. Which that's the dope thing about it, as far as like controlling your own stuff and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of liking it. I don't have to have nobody under control or anything like that to put my music out, or samples or not. so that way they don't give you any problems or whatever the case may be. But I kind of I'm kind of liking the era, before and after the pandemic and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's much easier because it gives you the opportunity to, you know how they say all you need to do is reach one person and one person will tell two people and two people tell four. So it gives you the opportunity to, if I wanted to send it directly, if I wanted to send a record directly to you, Brad, I could send it I could send it directly to you, and then you can tell, and then it goes on like that. Whereas before, it's hard to give somebody a CD because they would leave it in the club or they kick it out the window, or
well, that was a different era where, like, if you gave your tape away back then, it was a lot less impressive than somebody else giving your tape away.
Yeah.
Like the cosign era was different for us because, like you said, it was hand, it was face like that. And I hear this a lot from artists about Spotify and the numbers and the streaming, what they're paying you and how it's crap. It is, but those platforms allow us to have our music in places that probably would have never set foot in. I know a lot of artists have multiple countries that they're listened in, but they never stepped foot in that country, and Spotify allowed their music to be played there and found. So there's definitely benefits to it.
Yeah, back in the day, you had to rely on platforms like this or a cable network TV or something like that. Like, you had to rely on that. I remember getting a check from Bolivia, and I never went to Bolivia, but how? And then when I looked at my my statement, it was like cable TV or cable internet or something, it said something to that effect, and that's how that got there. But now it's like if I want to go into Bolivia on the internet or groups catered to Bolivia, then you know what I'm saying, then I could cater directly to that demographic. So
Absolutely.
I mean, it's much easier, especially for a female artist, musician. It's so much easier.
Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this now that we have the door open?
Yeah.
Female MCs. Who's the top 3 of all time for both of you? Megz, please answer first. Being the producer, who's your top 4 female MCs of all time?
I got to say Honey Dinero. The reason why I would rather go with the undergrounds. I would rather go with the underdogs,
Okay.
And who else? Beans from I know she's from mid PA, like central PA somewhere in Altoona, some place. She's a Puerto Rican MC. She's dope. Oh my goodness. Kaya Baby, she's dope. Who else? Shane York is quite dope too.
Shay is fire. Super fire.
Honey,
there's definitely a lot of them right now that like it's you got your Rhapsodies and your Shays, but you got your Shy Rocks, but you got Lakele 47 and Tierra, and there's so many dope talented female MCs right now. Honey, who is your top 3 of all time?
If I had to pick someone from like mainstream, it would be Lauryn Hill. As far as, and then I'd have to go underground or who right now who I like. I would have to say Pretty Bully and third, me.
Nice.
There you go.
Me, and
I was gonna say, you made it on both lists because
Hey.
you and Megz are giving each other high praise when you say, Megz.
We love
is
shameless self-promotion around here. We love shameless self-promotion.
Hell yeah.
We do it all day long.
Oh yeah, by the way, send me your music. No request contacts at Gmail. We got a show every Saturday night. We get to play whatever. Like the program directors love what we do. They don't mess with it. So please send me all your music. All of it.
Okay. And I like Shay Noir, but I want to hear more. I want to hear more. Like, to me, she's a little monotone. So I want to hear more
You know,
You know,
there's always MCs like Guru was like that, where he
yeah,
never really got out of his pocket, but he is
yeah,
who he is. And if I mean, she's doing really well. I know what you mean though, because you got to see the energy. Rhapsody has a different way of approaching it than Shay does. You know what I mean? And me personally, I think Rhapsody's she's at my top right now for active female MCs.
Yeah, I'm going with Ciroc.
Ciroc crazy though.
Yeah, she's amazing. But we're gonna move on to a little segment around here we like to call Tales from the Internet. And now, being females, you guys probably have a lot more crazy stories from people dealing with you on the internet than men do. So, what is your craziest, wildest, whatever kind of story you want to tell us right now? Tale from the internet. Honey, why don't you start us off?
Recently, so I was I on Instagram I was looking at Bing Bong, Nims. I was on his post, and I think it was around 4th of July, and he was talking about the glizzies, and he was out in Coney Island. So there was a question about how do you how do you intake your glizzies, right? So I just kind of laughed at it because his posts are hilarious, and this one ass decided to at me and ask me how do I take my glizzy. So I'm like, you don't know me to ask me that. How your mother take her glizzies, you know?
Nerve.
And it was like a back and forth, and I just would not back down, and I disrespected him. I mean,
good for you.
I mean, some things I just don't tolerate. And I went in, I was like, your mother and her glizzies. I said, matter of fact, you probably eat glizzies. And then I was like, I would smack you with a glizzy, a pack of glizzies. Like, just, it went real stupid. So it got to the point to where he was just like, fuck out of here, get off the internet. You're not a real rapper or whatever. So I blocked him. He found me. He then went on my post from another page. And I was like, yo, you know, I'm not for all the talk. Where are you? I'll pull up. You know, I will come to you and we could settle who take what type of glizzies and when, you know. And he would never drop the addy. I said, I'm not for the internet stuff. I said, I already entertain you enough. Where are you? Give me a location. He would not do it whatsoever. So then he ended up reporting me.
Wow.
I didn't give a shit. Yeah, I mean,
he tracked you down from a separate page and then
right, and then he reports you.
Huh?
That's funny.
But then come to find out, he was like some fake comedian, and he didn't have any followers, or he had 3 followers. I mean, it's just real. I mean, it was disrespectful. I mean, I disrespected him because then, you know, whoever's following you can see the thread of what your friends are saying, and I'm like, if I play with you, or if I let you get away with this, then somebody else could come along and think, oh, you could say whatever you want to Honey Dinero. No, that's a negative. I mean, I disrespected him. I called him all kinds of names. I wanted to fight. Like, where are you? Let's get it. You know, Bad Seed jumped in on it because he saw it and he was like, yo, we gonna be over here. I'm like, nah, I want to go to him. You know, so I mean, that was just recently. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff happened. One guy was like, oh, you sound like a dude. And I went on his page and he was all into the twerk and girls who show only boobs out and stuff like that. He was like, come back to me when you sound like a female. And I was like, I see what you went to, so get off my page, you know, that kind of thing. But it's whatever.
Megz, what you got? What's your tale from the internet?
I got a whole bunch of tales from it's ridiculous. And no wonder I be getting suspended for 4 days, 7 days, 30 days. I got a whole lot of tales. I got a story to tell. But most of it is quite controversy. You know, I don't want to really get into it, you know, not to offend anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because it does have something to do with certain topics or whatever the case may be. But this one in particular, I just blocked this dude from Dallas, Texas. I don't even know who he is. You know, I don't want to say his name. He was he was calling, blowing up my phone and all the other stuff like that. And if I don't pick up, he would call me all kind of S words and E words and all the other stuff like that, just to, censor myself. But
we need to run down on it.
What? Yeah, I customer. I said, you know what? Don't make me tell the take. I said all kind of stuff, but then again, I had another incident where some dude just called me out of the blue and he just sent me a eggplant phone call, video call. So yeah, this internet,
on like the top
a video, and he kept calling, and I was going to work, right? I was like, and he would call me. I was like, I hung up on him, right? And I said, you know what? I'm going to work. I don't feel like that. And I cussed his ass out. I was like, no, you can't be serious. First thing in the morning, and 7 to 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, you should be getting up, going to work. You shouldn't be calling me for no eggplant videos or whatever the case may be. So yeah, he blocked me because I cussed his ass out. He blocked me. So I'm surprised about that. So yeah. I mean, like I said, I got a whole bunch.
Those are always annoying. Just unwanted picture, video, and sometimes it's not just the eggplant. It's the action. Like I want to
take some nerves.
Honestly, someone out early in the morning. Why?
Yeah.
No, you gotta stop. PSA, fellas, if you ever have the thought to do that, don't.
Right.
Just don't.
Makes no sense. Especially the way the internet, everything is savable and shareable.
Right, and plus you can have kids around you picking up your phone. Right. You don't know, you unexpectedly out of the blue because you don't know what's going on. Right. You just picking up your phone probably because you got a promotion or you doing business or whatever case, or fan calls say, hey, I like your music. Where it could be anything, saying something that I don't know, and I wind up picking that up, and I could have a child standing right there, just coming in. You never know, people are ignorant like that. They don't think. They just do it without thinking.
Yeah,
internet is a scary place in these streets.
It is.
It is the greatest invention of mankind and the worst invention of mankind.
Absolutely. I actually got my first stalker from the internet. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, dude. It was weird. Like super, super supportive. Like at first, super, super supportive of things. And then it was like, I just heard your song, Think About You, Hugs. I'm like, well, have a good day. And then it was like, yo, 6 months later, it was on some shit like Watch Your Back.
Right. That's crazy.
Yo, facts. There was like points like, you would go out the studio and he's like, I know where you guys are. Are you kidding me?
That's damn.
All right.
Yikes on that one.
Dude, I'm not that cool. I'm not that fucking cool. I don't get it.
It's just people, man. People are very strange, and they grow very strange attachments. It's just then the way the internet is. Everybody's a keyboard warrior. Everybody does it. Everybody hides behind the internet sometimes. Everybody wears that mask, and that's the thing. It's another mask, just like everything else.
I find that the hardest part about the internet. That's honestly why I don't post, because I can't fake it for y'all. I just can't that's not, you know what I mean? It's just not my thing. I really don't got much to do unless it's the work I'm putting out. Other than that,
right.
So when is this album coming out? Anyway, let's talk about that. Let's switch back to that.
8 tracks. What's the title?
So the title is HDXMM, self-titled. So Big Yow Talk is coming out on my Bandcamp tomorrow. Right. But then on the 9th, it's going to come out on all the streams. We don't have an exact release date for it. I was really trying to push for by the end of December, but it's not something that we want to rush. It's a very important project. The first, we strongly believe the first of its kind, with a female MC, female producer. So we want to set it up right. We want it to be monumental. Right. I from past experience of before Remy and Fat Joe put out their album, I did an album with a male MC, and it didn't. I don't want to say it was rushed, but it didn't do what it had the potential to do, because that was the first of that kind. And then, so I we want to make sure that when we put this out, it's done right. It has it can have its fullest potential. You know what I mean? Um, but I'm very excited. I think this is my classic work. Um, and I want it to be a big thing for Megs as well, because I want people to flood, like, yo, we need these, you know what I'm saying? I want them to get at her. And we, as far as 6 men, we want to be kind of like a not so fast, um but you know we wanted to like be a super big thing for Megs, because this is just monumental for a female
Right.
producer.
Yeah, there's not many. There's not many at all.
It's not a normal, just it's another album I'm doing, so we haven't come up with a date yet, and I really I've been thinking about it for the past couple of days. Like, I think January would be like just a great way to kick off 2023. um and then I personally, I have some surgeries coming up December, and I'm trying to get everything in order. And you know what I'm saying? I just think January might be the better month to release and set the year off. And then we have 8 records that we
Right.
could let we could let everyone go, every album, every record go if we wanted to, because they're just that dope. And then we're trying to bring someone, I'm not gonna say who, but we're trying to bring a heavyweight, excuse me, into it, because we're trying to reach out to Primo. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a monumental thing. It is a male produce, it is a female producer, female artist, kind of like Gangstar, and the the tone that they set when they came out as a group is kind of what we're I don't want to say emulating them, but it's kind of
No, but
it's
there's a
the
standard
tone
set
that
you
we're
want to
setting.
reach in order to be able to compare. Like when you put your work together, you want to put it up there with the people that you idolized in the trendsetters. So
Hmm.
I'm not saying you're emulating it. That's never going to be how it's taken. If you aspire to be great, then you have to shoot for great. When you said you want your record to be monumental, I mean that's a word that, you know what I mean? You have to take yourself incredibly serious to
Yeah,
say something
Right.
like, my work needs to be monumental. And
yeah,
in order to say, and I wanted to say that from the jump, but I also didn't want comparisons, but like the female
yeah.
big star. And you're talking about if you could get Primo's cosign, of course, of course. And again, shout out to Megs and her work, because it is a difficult game to stand on your own doing what you do.
Yeah, yeah, it
Absolutely.
is. When I had talked to Honey, I told her, I said, we definitely have to make this a gym. We definitely got to make it a gym. In order for me to make it a gym, I have to, me on my producer end, I have to collect a lot of gyms myself, and I
Right.
told Bad Seed the same thing. If we willing to put out an album, whether it's me plus Team Demo plus Free Show plus this one plus that one, we have to make this a gym. We can't just put something out and release it, because such and such is releasing it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do what 6 men do,
Right.
Right.
regardless of anything. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
think that was
I
a
totally 100%. I 100% believe in this album. If I believe in it, then I'm gonna put the work in and the proper work in. I don't want to fuck this up.
I
No,
mean,
and I think that was a point I also wanted to interject earlier, but I didn't want to cut you off. But I think when you
Mm-hmm,
were saying, Honey, about like how you wanted a certain date, but I also
mm-hmm,
feel, and this is just my opinion, but if you guys are working on something that's timeless and you're shooting for such a high aspiration of regard with what this is in hip hop, it doesn't matter if it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 5 or not, because a timeless project is gonna last.
Yeah.
And
Right.
well wishes
Right.
that you guys have,
Yeah.
because this already, just the way you're standing on it is a level of confidence that says I'm here with my product and I'll sell it to anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
like I've done some projects. I've worked on some, work with some producers, and when she sent me the folder, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm for a year. I'm like, come on, Megs, we need something. Come on, Megs, we
Mhm.
need something. Come on, Megs, But I didn't want to. I wasn't pushing her. I was encouraging her, but I didn't. I didn't force it because
Right.
you got to create, and in the meanwhile I'm over here doing this and that, and she was she was doing Bad Seed, and I knew that when she hit me with a pack, it was going to be it was going to blow my mind. And when she gave me the 8 joints I said, girl, it was worth the wait. And I said, I'm gonna have something for you. And she was like, don't rush it. I said, no, I'm gonna have something for you.
That's
And I hit her in like 3 days. I said, it's done. And she was like, don't rush it. I was like, no, it's done. Like, that confidence, I stood on that like nonstop, with every record. And then I can see with every record had a vision. And again, what was important for me when writing the record, I understood that this assignment was going to be crazy, and it was going to be eyes on it because it was a female producer, one that's notable, one that everybody is like, yo, Megs, that's, they're like, yo, you're hard, and anything that Megs that I've heard, Megs has not, she hasn't disappointed, and it hasn't been like, okay, next one. She in the past she's given me, some tracks, but I wasn't there with it. You know what I mean? But this eight pack that she sent, every single one of them was like, all right, boom.
So
record.
that leads me. I want to know this, Megs. Did you pick out those beats specifically for Honey? Did you like make them, or did you have them in the stash? Like, oh, these are gonna be perfect with her on it.
It's half and half, and most of them, the final 4. It was 4 that I picked out already.
Yeah.
And then of course I created more than 4, but I just wound up picking and nipping, and because every time I would make a beat, I would have like a little notepad or like a little notebook, a composition book right there. Then I would have, an artist name. Then of course it would say Megs 2022 dash blah 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 blah. And of course I would nitpick it, or I would go back and make the beats and all the other stuff like that. And it would be at least 8 to 10 beats, and I would send it to her. And of course it was the 8 specifically. And I said, you know what, hopefully she would like these. If not, then I would go back to the drawing board. She said she was filling all of them.
She said it's done.
So yeah.
She said it's done. That's
The
crazy.
And I was thinking about putting more in it, but she said just hold off on that till we do like a part 2 or whatever the case may be. So yeah, we was looking forward to doing a full length all the way. I was willing to take it all the way, but I said, you know what, first things first, not to overwhelm the artist. I'm gonna just do at least maybe 8 to 10, and it'll turn out to be 8 for the first batch.
The world got ADD, so 8 is a real good number. But one more question. So when you sent her the beats, were they already fully composed, or did you just give her like a loop?
It's a little bit of both. I didn't want to, overdo it. Like I said, not to overwhelm her.
Right.
But it was fully composed. I said, you know what, if I just do it like this until she get the lyrics and stuff like that together, then I could probably edit it down and all the other stuff like that. So it's a little, like I said, it depends on where I was going with the idea.
Right.
So it was just for ideal's sake. So yeah, it's like it's a mixture of everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to this.
The two of you are literally making history, if you think about it.
This really is.
You're making history. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing for hip hop. It's a beautiful thing for female MCs. I don't really like using the term female MC personally.
I mean, it's in a positive way. Because some people would use it in a negative way to be, just to be ignorant about it and just throw people under throw somebody under the bus. But there's nothing wrong with I would tell people there's nothing wrong with the term female. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're using it in a positive term, then it's okay.
One thing I wanted to know with 6 Man, how did y'all link up with Bad Seed? He's a friend of the show. Obviously, he's been on a couple of times, and great guy. I love that dude. I love talking to him. He's amazing. He's an amazing artist. I've been listening to him since I was about 20 years old. So, and I'm an old man. But how'd y'all link up?
Seed and I kind of laugh about this. I think we admired each other's music back in MySpace days.
Oh boy.
And then I went away, and we ended up being on the same bill. So when I came back to New York, one of the reasons I accepted the show because he was on, 2 reasons. Because of the person who was throwing her annual show, because I won, but then because he was on the bill and I needed to meet him in person. And so saw his performance, thought he was crazy, went back to, because I was if y'all don't know, I don't know if the listeners know, I'm in remission of triple negative breast cancer. So I left New York and did my treatment in Tennessee, and went back, and then we started following each other, and he said, I want to work on a song or something. He was like, I'm putting together something and I want you a part of it. So I was like, okay, cool. And then the particular project didn't really happen, but we kept in touch. And then I discovered his previous music. And I was like, oh shit, where was I? I thought I was under a rock somewhere. And I apologized to him. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just wasn't, I had no clue, and he was like, nah, it's cool. And we just, from there, he was like, hey, let's do a one-off. He was like, you're working on something, let's put it out on 6 Man. I want to introduce you to Team Demo. Shout out to Team Demo. Let's do a one-off. And so while I was working on the album, I already had beats from producers that I worked with. Team Demo gave me, he had this record, the Pull Up Team. He had Pull Up Team Snubby, produced by Team Demo. And he was like, yo, you need to have this record. This needs to be your breakout record with 6 Man. And just off that alone and what it did, it introduced me to Primo. And I've trusted his judgment since then. And he's been the only person that has he stood on his word with what he wanted to do as far as a label with me as an artist. I've worked with other labels before and it's always been some bullshit, or it's always been some other type of bullshit that I wasn't interested in, or it didn't allow me to be who I am as an artist. And he doesn't have to approve a record. He doesn't have to. I write my own stuff. I produce my own records. And he's just like, oh, that's dope. Let's just, okay. It's what you would put out. Okay, cool. And he's never crossed the line in those regards. And he stood on everything that he said he was going to do as far as a label. And, it's 2.5 years now, I guess. 2.5, 3 years now with 6 Man. So here we are making history,
He's definitely a stand-up guy. Like anybody that's ever, like, if you talk to him, you already know, and he makes you feel welcomed.
Yeah.
One thing about Seed is he makes you feel welcomed, and even over a text message, it's kind of wild.
And he's passionate about the 6 Man. He's passionate about the underdog, and he really he fights for, extremely passionate. Like he'll go to war for what he believes in, or what he believes, you know, what if my vision is to walk the Brooklyn Bridge naked, he gonna be right there with a Honey Dinero
Yeah.
sign, just supporting what I'm doing, and he rides with it. And it's rare to find people like that, very rare, especially in this business. So
Megs, how'd you go link up with Seed?
Online. And I was doing some live video beat making videos in around 2020, of course, the year of the pandemic. And I said, you know what, I get to stay home, and I get to do whatever it is, and just build my brand from there. I have no excuse. And he wound up catching one of my videos. He gave it some fire flames, and I watched one of his some days or some months later. He had I wound up peeping one of his videos. He's like, I can't get a MurdaMegz beat. I can't get a murder. I was like, okay, so you know what? Let me go ahead and send him some stuff, or just send him up to get an email, which I did that. And I just started making beats. I just started buying samples. That says, you know what? I need something that's just convenience for, just to get a product out right now. I know I got some gems in the attic. I got some, some records upstairs, but I need something very convenient. So I went to a couple websites, got some beat packs, and I started making like 10 joints, and I sent it to him, and he was filling them. So that's where Bake Sale, of course, that introduced me to Honey Dinero, and of course another artist out of Six Man Jux, and Uber is what, that's how we just clicked. He said he's feeling it. He was willing to record a couple things on it, which he did, and it actually hit Primo's radio station at the time when he was at Sirius XM, which is the headquarters. I was like, oh, okay. And you know what? Something told me. I said, you know what? Get up, wake up, look at the playlist, and it actually had Bake Sale on the playlist. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, we just clicked right then and there, and I got another placement with him and stuff. So yeah, the internet is awesome.
Your work on Four Finger Ring is amazing. It really
Thank
is.
you.
It really
Thank
is.
you.
And that's why I think a lot of people know your name and are looking forward to what you guys are about to put out. Like it really set things off. It really, really did.
Seriously, I have to take the moment to say this also. Like you guys said, thank you for having yourselves on here.
Yeah.
Me, I appreciate this because I'm a fan of both of you individually.
oh, thank you.
No, really, I appreciate and respect
Thank
what you
you.
do on the level, the caliber. You're both very polished. You're obviously very passionate about what you do. And from an artist to artist, it's respect. But to me, it's like fan at this moment. So thank you.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here without y'all.
Facts.
Really, we wouldn't be here without y'all. So.
And you know what? I definitely got to say this year, 2022, has been bittersweet for me. It's been bittersweet. It's not all good, but it's not all bad either.
Right.
Because I just suffered from 2 losses. Of course, my mother wound up passing suddenly, in the makings of Four Finger Ring. Of course, May and June was just, was shaky up until she suddenly passed away. And of course, I just lost my uncle not this month, last month. I might as well say last month. So yeah, like I said, it's been a lot of ups and downs, but then again, I'm okay. So as long as I got my music with me, as long as I'm, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or whatever the case may be, I'll be good. I'll be all right. But Four Finger Ring kind of, cheered me up a little bit. That's the good thing about it. And of course, HDMM is, I put some work in that. And, the thing is, I didn't let anybody down, what I'm saying, regardless of my losses or anything like that, or my busyness with my 9 to 5s or anything like that. I still made a way, so yeah.
Sometimes that's the thing that gets us through. I know that for myself. I've been doing my own radio show for the past 2 years. I'm not a DJ, nothing like that. I just had an opportunity. We created a show, and that show kept me going through a lot of the bittersweet, because a lot of the, we all know we're adults. Not every day, Mama said there'd be days like this. So we kind of got to just roll with it. And sometimes that is the thing that keeps us moving. I know my music, my art, the show, all of that is the stuff that kept me above water. That's a fact.
If it's
Right.
what you love and it's a passion, nothing will take you away from it. I wrote and recorded and produced an album, 16 joints,
Right.
while I went through chemo. You
Right,
know what
you're
I
in
mean?
Mm-hmm.
remission right now. Like that weight
Right.
that you're dealing with is indescribable. I completely understand that. So like you, like I said earlier in the interview when we first started, I
Mhm.
reiterated again, when you do it, you are it, no matter where you go. You can
Yeah,
jump around, be here, be here, be here. You're gonna bring yourself with you.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
We're gonna move on to our last segment of the night, and it's one that's a little popular one around here. It's called "What's Your Issue?"
Mm.
And now this could be anything. It could be like the big issue that you want to talk about. It could be about somebody cutting you off and how you hate people driving. Any type of issue. So, Megs, what's your issue?
My issue right now is beat block. I got a beat block at the moment because me and Nisi and other producers got got another project on the line. And of course, work. I won't use work as an excuse because work is funding my music at the end of the day. But I do. I got this beat. I mean, I would make a beat here and there, but it wouldn't sound as good. So I still got this block, and I'm still collecting, some sample packs, some records here and there. But I'll get through it.
Yeah,
You know,
I,
during a
I'll,
block
I'll
is
get
when you
through it.
find all when you go through a block, that's when you find the nuances that help you get to that next.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Right.
that,
Right.
So you just
Mm-hmm.
kind of keep it's the same thing with writers. You'll put down something, write 24 and maybe two of the bars. You're like, yo, the rest of
Right.
it, you're really not messing with. Somebody else could hear it and love it. You're not
Right.
locked in, but you'll find those little, and you know that
yeah.
it'll be a week. I hear from you in a week. You'll put something out and it'll be right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, honey, what about you? What is your issue today? Please let us know.
Um, my issue. Well, my issue, my biggest issue, is just inclusion. Um, I think I understand the whole male dominated thing, and um in music, also in music, specifically to music, just want inclusion. It doesn't necessarily have to be me, but just more female inclusion. I don't think things always have to be so female this and male this, or you know what I'm saying. Just want inclusion. So when I see lists and things like that, and shout out to the people that are curating these things. It's not it's not a thing that irritates me whether I'm on it or not. I always just look for female inclusion. You guys named female MCs, some that I've never heard of. So now I'm gonna go and listen. I'm gonna go and check them out. But I think it's no longer a boys club. We have a female producer here, so I'm just looking for more inclusion when people make these lists, and include a female. Go and look for a female artist. When you look at your list and you see men, there's gotta be at least half females. If you have a list of 10 men, it's got to be 5 females that you can go and seek and include in that list. So yeah, I mean, that is my biggest thing. I've been wanting to make posts about it, but I didn't want to sound like I was ranting, or I didn't want to sound like how women sound like a complainer or anything like that. And no one can tell me to work hard because I work hard, you know what I mean. But I've been trying to figure out a way to convey it where it doesn't come across like that bitch is just running her mouth, or you know what I'm saying, because women can sound like
Mm-hmm.
nagging. So I didn't.
Right.
Now, you
Yapping.
know what though? Listen, I think you got 8 ways to explain that coming up real soon. And
Oh,
I think that's
absolutely.
what's gonna do it. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? But you like what you said, what you guys are doing is actually very monumental. You talk about the foundation of hip hop. This is a female producer, female MC as a duo, putting together a project. What you have on your hands is big. That's what's gonna, separate you. you saying you didn't want to put a post up or talk about it, please talk about it because it needs to be said. But what's going to speak for you is going to be that project.
And what you're doing also is going to have other young girls looking up to y'all. Like,
absolutely,
there's a female group that's out here like Gangstar that's killing shit. Like, oh shit, I can do that too.
Right.
You know, that's what a lot of, like, even you guys didn't have that specifically. Like, y'all had Salt and Pepper and MC Light and Queen Latifah, but it was all driven by a male dominated industry.
Mhm.
You know, but now y'all breaking down them doors, so you got to be proud of yourselves for real.
Yeah,
For real, be proud of yourselves.
I am. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like I said, I feel like this is. I have some pretty dope albums that I listen to, even from a fan of a love of music perspective. But this has to be. This is my best work. Um, this is my best work.
We're looking forward to it. We
Yeah.
very much are. We're gonna start wrapping it up here for the night on Doing Time. Now it's the shameless self promotion time. So, Meg, start it off. Promote yourself.
As far as music, I do have the beat tape that's kept. I keep putting it on hold. Of course, HDMM. That's what I should have started off with that first. Of course, I got some merchandise and my website coming up soon. But yeah, just making sure everything is good. But the beat tape is coming out. Then of course, more collaborations on top of that. I know I'm all over the place with it, but only time would tell. And of course, if you want to know more info about, if you want to know, just more releases, get any releases or anything like that, just of course my Facebook, Instagram, Megz the Great Files, more releases if you want to get more releases and more, if you events that I'm attending to or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, thank you so much, Honey. Self promote, girl.
Yeah, I mean, look for HDXMM. Big Gal Talk is coming out tomorrow on my Bandcamp. And then on the 9th, we're releasing it to all the streams as well as the videos coming out. Me and Megz, wait till y'all see Megz in this. Y'all gonna be scared of Megz, okay? Her name, I know why we call her MurdaMegz now. But the video is coming out along with on all the streams. The album, I'm really thinking January, February. I got an album coming out. It's done called Bitch. Before I Totally Crush Her with Team Demo. Then I have a Sweet Diggler album coming out in March. And then I have is The Crown is coming out in April. So I'm
busy.
I'm not. I kind of 2020 this year I kind of ups and downs, health, moving back to New York from Louisiana with all the hurricanes, so I didn't really put out as much music. What carried me through 2022 was just I did a bunch of features, but I'm back on schedule next year, and I'm gonna kill it. Like y'all are gonna be either sick of me or y'all just gonna, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not gonna stop. Like I when I speak of inclusion, you're gonna have to include me. You're gonna have to. It's no way possible that you won't.
You're gonna be on everybody's list at the end of 2023.
Yeah.
Both of you. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming back to Doing Time with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna be more active in the group. I just all over the place, but I'm gonna be more active. And I'm gonna send some artists to the group as well.
Dope. Yeah, appreciate that so much. But again, thank you guys, and we're looking forward to the album. We're looking forward to you smacking us over the head with it. We're gonna make sure we include it everywhere we go because y'all deserve to be heard. You really do. So
seriously, look, I appreciate you sharing this, because this obviously is a monumental moment coming up, and you took your time to come and chill with lifers for a minute, and we're a part of that history right now. So greatly appreciated. Again, send the music, no request contacts at Gmail. Saturday night, got my own shit. We'll play it, no questions.
Gotcha. I'm putting it down right now.
I appreciate that.
All right, ladies. Again, thank you for doing time with us. We're gonna end tonight. Have a good night. Appreciate y'all.
You too.
You too.
We're out of here. Evan, love you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night. Again, ladies, we appreciate you.
All right. Thank
And
you.
most definitely, thank you.
Thank you for
Keep in
doing
touch,
time, ladies.
please.
Will do.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Night.